we're going to be having a look at the Onslaught series of Marvel Legends, Blackheart. Blackheart was definitely a figure I was looking to pick up because there were a handful of figures I was looking forward to from the Onslaught series. As you can see, it comes with the left leg of Onslaught. I like Onslaught as well. I thought that little arc, that comic arc, was pretty neat with Onslaught. That Blackheart there. But as I was saying though, there was a handful of characters I was looking forward to getting from this set, and I have to actually say, pretty strong set. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, between the Pyro and Lady Deathstrike, I thought the Loki was pretty good as well. But I think I really was looking forward to the Blackheart. There's something about the Blackheart I really like. He's definitely a really interesting looking character, that's for sure. In the way of Blackheart, though, there's a bit of a read up here. It says, Blackheart is the son of Mephisto, one of the many rulers of the underworld, and a frequent opponent of Earth's heroes. Like his father, Blackheart desires power above all else and has shown a willingness to go to great lengths to achieve it. So there you go. His height is 6'2", weighs 185 pounds, eyes yellow, hair black. I guess really everything on him is black. But I definitely like the Onslaught. I'm looking forward to getting this guy put together. And still a huge fan of the Green Goblin down there. Probably one of the best Green Goblins they've made. But I've said enough really on the packaging. I think what we'll do is we'll just open this guy up. We'll open this guy up and we'll get a closer look at Blackheart. So stay tuned. Ghost Rider! I don't know what was going on with that. If we have a look at the figure here, now I actually had to put him way at the back here, and I'll explain why in a second. As mentioned, he does come with his leg, or Onslaught's leg. So there's one part of Onslaught that I can put aside and look forward to putting together. As I mentioned though, as I was starting to say, I had to put the figure all the way back there just because of a couple of small problems I have with this figure. Really nice figure. I think it translated well as a figure from the comic, but I have a slight problem with it. I would say my fondest memory of Blackheart, and I think what really got me interested in Blackheart, was playing him on was it Marvel vs. Capcom 2? Which I also will plug and say that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is now officially out for the Xbox 360 and PS3. So now we can finally, you know, instead of paying the $100 or so for the PS2 version, now we can actually play it. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't actually downloaded it yet, but looking forward to maybe doing that today. But definitely Blackheart was one of the characters. I don't even know if I remember much of Blackheart before I played Marvel vs. Capcom. And when I picked the character, I'm like, who is this? This guy's pretty awesome. I like the look of him and everything. And then I researched him a bit more, and I'm like, oh, he's a pretty cool looking character. Definitely one of the more unique looking villains from the Marvel Universe. And I think, again, I think Toy Biz did a great job on the sculpt on the figure. I mean, you have all these, I guess, hair follicles that he's got there. I know it's going to be a pain in the arse to dust this guy, but really nice. In the way of his articulation, he has articulation in the head. He has articulation in the torso, and definitely a good example of a Toy Biz Marvel Legends is like this build, this mold has not been reused as far as I can tell for any other figure. I mean, it is very distinct. I mean, torso-wise and everything else. But he has articulation in the shoulders, in the bicep, in the arm, in the hand, and also in the fingers. Articulation also is in the waist, in the leg, the knee, 2 points in the knee. There's a swivel in the calf. There's a joint in the foot, and then there's also a joint in this really funky toe of his. Now this funky toe does end up giving you a bit of a problem with how you end up having to stand the character. As you can see, if you have the foot flat, his heel doesn't allow him to stand right, so you kind of have to prop the feet on a certain angle. And, well, I'm actually surprised I got him standing just right, because just before I shot this video, And now I say that I'm not going to be able to stand him again. But just before I shot this video, I was trying to get this guy to stand, and it could just be on the material I'm reviewing this guy on, but he's very difficult to stand just because of the way his foot has been sculpted. Not necessarily saying it's a bad sculpt, because it makes the figure look awesome, but kind of makes things a little harder to stand him. I'll definitely have to play around with him a bit before I get him to stand just right. He also does sport a tail, which unfortunately adds to his weight, and it makes him a little back heavy. As you can see, there's a couple of slits in the tail, so what does that mean? Aha! Tail is also articulated. Not as articulated and free to move as, say for example, Mr. Fantastic, but you still get some range of movement from it. So that is neat. Not much else to say about the figure. I do definitely like the figure. The one problem I have is just with the feet. And again, it's probably just the way it's probably just because I've got him on the fabric here. But I'm going to have to probably play around with him a bit to get the figure to stand just right. Would I say that's a reason not to buy this figure? Absolutely not. I mean, this is still a gorgeous looking figure. And probably sculpt-wise, he's probably one of the neatest looking Marvel Legends out there, just because he is so different from everybody else. It's just a shame though that at least what I've got right now, he's getting a little hard to stand just right. But so you know what, maybe I'll just hold him then. But definitely a figure you want to be looking at. I don't know if everybody has heard of Blackheart. If you haven't, and you haven't heard of this figure, you definitely want to pick it up. But there you have Marvel Legends, Onslaught series, Blackheart, and I hope that hit the spot. I'll see you guys next time.